The leave him or leave us out of the trend is getting one thing right and one thing dangerously wrong. You watch a friend stay with someone who's hurting her, and one day you just stop answering. Not because you don't love her, because your body voted before you did, and it voted out. Or maybe you're on the other side of that phone. You finally scraped together enough courage to say, "It's bad, I need you." And the silence that came back, louder than anything he ever said to you. Here's the part nobody's naming, and this trend is exploding because people are exhausted, and exhaustion deserves respect. But almost nobody making these videos is telling you what's actually happening in the body on either side of the cutoff. And if you don't know that, you're going to keep mistaking self-protection for cruelty and self-abandonment for loyalty over and over and over. Today I'm breaking down the two nervous systems at war in this exact trend, the one that leaves and the one that gets left. And I'm handing you the third option nobody online is talking about because it exists and it's better than both. I've been seeing this everywhere. Why I stopped being friends with women in toxic relationships. Leave him or leave us out of it. Confident, clean, very shareable. And here's the thing, I'm not here to tell you it's wrong. Sometimes walking away really is the regulated, healthy adult choice. I'm going to get there. But what disturbed me, genuinely put a lump in my throat, is that nobody making these videos is talking about the nervous system on the other end of that phone. The one reaching out, the one finally admitting it's bad, finally doing the single bravest thing a human nervous system can do, asking for co-regulation and getting silence instead. Let's be real for a second. We love a clean villain. She's toxic, cut her off, protect your peace. That's a satisfying sentence. It fits in the caption. It gets a stitch. What it does not do is tell what happened to the woman on the other end of that red receipt, alone at 11 p.m., rereading her own message, wondering what she did wrong. Two nervous systems, two survival strategies. Both of them make perfect sense once you understand what's actually driving the car. Neither one is a villain here. But if we don't understand the biology, we're going to keep rerunning this exact scene in every relationship we have. Romantic, family, work, friendship. It doesn't discriminate. You already know what it feels like to be the one who left. You already know what it feels like to be left on red. And some part of you picked up this video because you're still not sure which side of the story you're actually on. Let's start with the friend who bails. Here's what's actually happening in her body, not her character, her body. When you spend months, sometimes years, absorbed in someone else's crisis, checking your phone for the next distress text, rehearsing what you'll say, carrying her relationship around like it's your second job, your nervous system quietly withdraws the threat map. It stops flagging him as the danger, and it starts flagging proximity as the danger, being that close to the mess. Your amygdala does not know the difference between my friend is in danger and I am in danger. After enough exposure, it stops trying to tell them apart. And once your body decides something is a threat, it has exactly two moves: fight or get out. And for a lot of high-functioning adults who have spent their entire lives overfunctioning for everyone else until they hit a wall, get out is the only move that has actually ever worked. It's not a character flaw. It's a skill that got overused until it became a reflex. So no, she didn't leave because she stopped caring. She left because her body ran out of dial tone between fused and gone. Nobody ever taught her nervous system there was a setting in between. And can we just say it plainly? She is exhausted. She is not a bad friend. She is a depleted one, and those are not the same crime. Now, the friend who reached out, let's give her the respect she is not getting online right now. She is not oversharing. She is not too much. Biologically, she just did the single most important thing a human nervous system is built to do. She sought co-regulation. That's not weakness. That is the actual evolutionary point of a relationship. We are not designed to white knuckle every hard thing alone. We are designed to borrow each other's regulated nervous system when ours runs out of gas. So when she reaches for that and gets silence back, her body does not register disappointment. It registers confirmation of the oldest wound most of us are quietly carrying. When I am too much, people leave. That's not sadness. That is re-traumatization happening live in a group chat in real time. And here's the cruelest part of this whole trend, the part nobody's captioning. The silence often pushes her deeper into the toxic relationship, not out of it. Because at least he hasn't left yet. At least someone's still answering. Read that back. The protect your peace trend may be quietly feeding the exact thing it thinks is fighting. So if we can't just tough it out, and we shouldn't just ghost her, what do we actually do with all this? This is where a specific 3-step process I use with my own clients comes in. I call it boundary presence. It runs through something I teach called the sanctuary sequence. Recognize, regulate, relate. I know, boundaries has become one of the most overused words on the internet, and it usually just means saying no and feeling smug about it. Stick with me. This is not about pushing her away. This is about staying safe enough to keep her close. You're watching this because something about this trend has bothered you too. You've either left someone or been left. And as you keep listening, you may start to notice which one you actually are. Let's break down the sequence. Recognize. Before you make the call to distance yourself, notice what's actually happening in your own body right now. Are you stepping back because you're regulated and this genuinely isn't sustainable for you anymore? Or are you stepping back because you're flooded and exiting is just the fastest exit ramp your nervous system can find? Those are two very different decisions wearing the exact same outfit. Regulate before you respond, not after. A boundary set from your red zone will almost always land as abandonment, even when the boundary itself is completely legitimate. The nervous system underneath your words is louder than the words. Relate. From that regulated place, this might sound like, I can't be your only support through this, and I love you too much to keep pretending I can't. Here's what I can still show up for. That's a full sentence. It holds a boundary, and it refuses to disappear. And I know some part of you is already thinking, but what if I set that boundary and she leaves anyway? Here's the truth. Either she respects it and your friendship gets to survive on honest terms, or she doesn't and you find out now instead of 2 more years in. Either way, you already have your answer. That feels different than leave him or leave us out of it, doesn't it? If you're the one who pulled away, I'm not telling you to go back and fuse with her chaos again. I'm telling you there's a version of staying connected that doesn't cost you your own nervous system. Learn it now because you'll hit this exact fork in the road again with a sibling, a coworker, someone on your team who won't stop making the same mistake. And if you're the one who reached out and got left, her leaving is not proof that you are too much. It is proof that her nervous system ran out of tools before yours did. That is not the same thing as truth. Your need for support was never the problem. It never was. The trend says leave him or leave us out of it. I'll add one line to that. Don't let your own dysregulation write the ending of a friendship that boundary presence could have saved. You've been carrying more of other people's chaos than you admitted out loud. Your body's already been keeping the score on this for a while, and part of you already knows exactly which side of this story you've been standing on. So go ahead and notice which one it is right now while it's still fresh. If any part of this names something you've lived with on either side of it, that is not a video to scroll past. That's a video to sit with. Can you drop a comment right now and tell me which nervous system you recognize more? The one that left or the one that reached out? I read every single one. And if this is the first video of mine you've watched, you might find yourself wanting to hit subscribe before you go, because this is exactly the kind of pattern we break wide open here every single week. Before you decide someone in your life is too much or decide that you are, find out what survival pattern your own nervous system is actually running. The free Relational Nervous System quiz is waiting for you at mind-fusion.com/quiz. Welcome to the regulation era. I'll see you next time.